2042's release was an absolute disaster. I'm talking worse than your gran shitting in her pants kind of disaster. There was much anticipation for the game's release, with amazing trailers, big promises, and a futuristic shooter to be delivered like no other. We're here to discuss if the disastrous first few years are behind us, and if 2042 is still worth it in 2024. We will be exploring the questions of what went wrong in the first place, what problems still exist, and what DICE have done to improve the game. From the very beginning, laggy servers caused a number of issues, such as emptying a full clip to give even a flesh wound, games crashing left, right and centre, XP not being rewarded, players unable to spawn on objectives, parachutes remaining open after landing, audio issues, the list goes on and on. This killed the active player count shortly after release. Since then, it's been a long steady grind for DICE to build a player base back up. It took at least 2 years and nearly 7 seasons to iron out nearly all the creases this game had to offer. The game has come leaps and bounds from where it was at launch, and 2042's reputation is now somewhat respectable. Let's take a look at what problems still exist. Vehicle balance is an issue. It takes 3 C5 charges or 4 anti-tank rockets to take out a tank. With the open map design of 2042, this makes it near impossible to get close to any heavy armour tanks without someone shooting you first. In addition, vehicles are making the game mode breakthrough more one-sided. Just the other day, I was playing on the map Manifest, and the attacking team had 2 Condors, which are basically OP helicopters, 2 Mavs and 3 tanks, against our 1 measly tank sat at the back of the map. It doesn't make for a well-balanced game mode. The class system has been altered in 2042 compared to previous Battlefield titles, which I believe is another reason the game feels so much different. Weapons used to be restricted to each class, but now there are no weapon restrictions, which devalues the need to run as a certain class. The new system is specialists who have unique traits and gadgets, which much of the community are against. Movement isn't as fluent as previous titles. When I first installed 2042 and started playing, I was searching all over for the key binding to be able to lean.
Stupid!
But no, that's another functionality removed from the game. You also can't dive when swimming to avoid getting shot. No server browser makes it very difficult to find the maps you want to play. With so many awful maps on 2042, it makes the game less enjoyable, and on top of this you can't stay within the same lobby, so after every game it's back to the main menu to search for another. So what have DICE improved since launch? DICE have obviously reviewed these previous points, and slowly but surely improved the map design to build the player base back up. It's evident that the game has improved leaps and bounds since its launch, as during Season 6 the active player count rose to its all-time high of over 107,000 players. DICE continuously revisited and even tweaked 2042's current maps due to the community feedback. It took up until Season 6 for DICE to finally create a decent map, that being Redacted. This map is so popular with the current active players that they have permanently left Redacted up on the main screen to continually play on Conquest mode. I do believe this map has played a huge part in the overall improvement of the game. Since its inception, 2042 has received 6 new maps. That's 6 maps in 3 years. Not very good for someone who has been playing it since launch, but for someone who is considering buying the game for the first time, there are plenty of maps to play. DICE have improved the input lag, and hit markers are now consistent, as they should be. Players are no longer dodging bullets. Every now and then in between seasons, if there has been no new content release with no update for a while, lag can start to creep back in, but not enough to put you off playing the game. 2042 is very CPU intense, so make sure your processors can handle the load before purchasing. DICE have made an effort to balance out some of the overpowered guns such as the VHX. Just recently in their 6.3 update, they have nerfed the VHX, and I say nerfed in quotation marks, as it isn't as strong a weapon as it once was, but still one of the best, if not the best overall gun in the game. They have done this with a few other weapons, and the gun balance of the game could still be improved, but overall is in a good place. On a side note, if you're one of those people who like using auto shotguns, then don't even think about buying the game. I'll find you. DICE have also released several new guns into the mix, most from Battlefield 3, including but not limited to the M16, AEK and M416. So is 2042 still worth it in 2024? While stating my conclusion, have in mind that I am comparing it to previous Battlefield titles. The game offers a lot of content to a new player, ranging from different style maps, weapon choice, new events and game modes. including the community-based games that you can find in the portal. All in all, if you prefer a faster style FPS game and head into it with low expectations, then 2042 is still worth it. If you happen to catch the game on sale between now and Season 7, then I would say it's definitely worth the purchase. With the recent announcement of the next Battlefield title, the question now is, how long do we think DICE will continue support for 2042, and when do we think they will abandon the game, just like the previous titles? I give it until August before no further updates are applied and DICE focus all their resource on the next Battlefield game. If you found this video helpful, please do me a favour and hit that like button, leave a comment and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.